Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you all to the Planning Committee on Tuesday, the 2nd of December 2025. I'd like to remind members that the meeting has been recorded and will be uploaded to YouTube later on. First item on the agenda is apologies. So far, I've had apologies from Councillor Jan Wadrop. Are there any other apologies?
Can I give apologies for Jeremy Oates, please?
Certainly. Thank you. Item number 2, appointment of the Vice Chair. Now, seeing as Councillor Foster's no longer on the committee, I'm looking for a new Vice Chair. Don't all jump at once, but if anyone would like to nominate someone or themselves, then feel free to go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. Can I nominate Councillor Clark, who's next to me?
Before we look for a seconder, any other nominations? No? In that case, can I look for a seconder? Because Councillor Claymore has, and I've got Councillor Smith. So Councillor Claymore has proposed and Councillor Smith has seconded. All those in favour? That is unanimous. Thank you. Item number 3, minutes of the last meeting held on the 14th of January 2025 are here for approval. Can I have a mover? Councillor Clark, and a seconder? Councillor Pallett. All those in favour? Carried. Item number 4, declarations of interest. Before we move on, ask for any, I've got to read the following. Under section 33.2 of the Localism Act 2011, the Act permits an authority to grant a dispensation from either or both of the restrictions not to participate and or vote on a matter in which they have a pecuniary interest. Planning Committee members have received a dispensation for applications relating to the future High Street project for a period of 2 years, starting from the 5th of August 2024 to the 5th of August 2026. Saying that, are there any declarations of interest before we move forward? No. Okay. Before we carry on, I'd like to pass over to Anna very quickly.
Thank you, Chair, and good evening. I would just like to introduce Vanessa Blake, who is sat behind me this evening. Vanessa is the new Development Management Team Leader, who is leading on planning applications, planning enforcement. She joined the authority in June of this year. This is her first committee, and she's going to be taking us through applications and also, after committee, an update on a few bits and pieces. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Anna. Item 5A, applications for consideration 0169-2025, 74 Briar, Amington, Tamworth, Staffordshire. I'd like to hand over to Vanessa, I think, for this one.
Thank you, Chair. This application won't actually be presented at tonight's committee, as we found out there were inaccuracies within the case officer's report. So we'll reassess the application and we'll report this to the January committee instead. So sorry about that one.
Item 5B, application for consideration, and I'm back to you, Vanessa, apparently.
Thank you. So, yeah, the application details are shown on the screen here. So this application relates to the newly constructed Town Hall Place within Tamworth Town Centre. The site is within the designated Tamworth Town Conservation Area, and there are a number of nearby listed buildings. The photo plan shows where the following photos were taken. Photo 1 shows the building looking northeast. Photo 2 is looking across the square. Photo 3 is looking east across the frontages. And photo 4 shows the elevation for the proposal. It is proposed to install one non-illuminated sign as shown on the slide. The sign would measure 1.4 metres by 1.4 metres and would be sited 5.4 metres above ground level. This slide shows the proposed sign design and the visualisation of the sign on the building. The proposal is considered to be of an acceptable design, which would not have a significant adverse impact upon amenity or public safety. The sign would preserve the character and appearance of the Tamworth Conservation Area and would not impact upon the setting of nearby listed buildings. The proposal would also not have any detrimental cumulative impacts. Therefore, the application is recommended for consent, subject to the conditions listed in the report. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Vanessa. Any questions on this application? Councillor Turner.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Just a bit of a technical one, really. Why is it non-illuminated?
It's just proposed as non-illuminated. Advert regs makes us specify between illuminated and non-illuminated.
Councillor Claymore.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think that looks a very tasteful sign, and I just wish that we would be able to have more control over the signage in lots of places in Tamworth, because at the moment they look pretty awful.
That's noted. We're hoping to look into enforcing on signage in the future once we get some capacity in the team.
Yeah, I think that would be very welcomed. I mean, you go down the streets and you've got all different types of signages, glaring colours, glaring lights. I think some sort of control would be more than welcome.
Councillor Clark.
Thank you. What material was used to make the sign proper? Did I miss it somewhere?
It's going to be powder-coated aluminium with dark blue with acrylic letters.
Oh, 1.4, I beg your pardon. I think it's quite stylish, to be honest, and it's leading the way to future good signage, which I hope you can do when you've got more resources. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to pick up on the non-illuminated sign issue. We quite often go for non-illuminated, which obviously means it's not backlit or uplit by lights. In conservation areas and around heritage buildings, it just has a better aesthetic not to have that, rather than something that's really bright that could be quite sort of incongruous in the street scene.
Yeah, I understand that. I mean, but with the latest LEDs, you can have them as bright or as dull as, you know, the mood you want to choose. So I'm just thinking of a night time, you know, people wandering down there. If we're looking at a strategic plan going forward, maybe we ought to, is this future-proofed, and say, do all signs then now not be illuminated, or are they illuminated?
Certainly for the ones that we've put through this committee through Future High Streets Fund, they've all been non-illuminated. Around the college, around Nationwide, etc., where we've had those specifically come to this committee. Again, conservation area, very close to listed or locally listed buildings. We've gone down the route of non-illuminated in those circumstances. So that's definitely been our view for consistency in those sort of more heritage areas, I would say.
Any other questions? I'm guessing, does anyone want to speak on this one or not? Councillor Clark.
Well, heritage is certainly my thing. I mean, we have ground level lighting at the back of the town hall, which is illuminating town hall place reasonably well, and also the sign is actually in, I suppose actually it's in George Street when you look at it. It's on the first new building in George Street on the left-hand side, and I think it's well placed because we have Lloyd's Bank on the other side, which has illumination obviously for their tills or ATMs and so on. So I can appreciate that. Having walked through there this evening and going home after a late meeting, I find that would be acceptable to me.
Anyone else? Councillor Summers?
Just to say, I'm guessing as it's on the wall, it could be illuminated if it wanted to be in the future with an uplighter. But can I just move it for approval, Chair? Thanks.
Certainly, yeah. Yeah. If there's no more comments on this, I'm looking to approve with consent to the conditions outlined in the report. I'm looking for a mover, which is obviously Councillor Summers, a seconder, which is Councillor Smith. All those in favour? carried. Okay. Right. On that note, we're going to end the meeting now. I'd like to thank all members for their attendance this evening. That concludes the business of the meeting, and I close the meeting at 6:15. Thank you.